So anyway, you're not gonna be able to see me because my phone sucks donkey balls. Trying to give some insight on how addictions work. You see, I've been in a lot of rehabs. I met a lot of people. Sad thing is that most people that fall victim to their addictions, it's because they have like many triggers. Not like the average person out there doesn't have triggers, doesn't know what triggers really are, because their mindset is just so different. Like they're so strong mentally and physically and confident, right? So people that fall victim to addictions are usually, from what I can see and what I've learned, and me, I'm an extreme. You know, I feel like you got the shitty end of this stick. You got bad genetics. You aren't really happy with the way your life went. And with your genetics and all your discomforts, all of your anguish of how much you don't like yourself and your hang-ups, and you constantly pick on yourself, right? You constantly say, well, fuck, I should have been genetically like that. Because if I was genetically like that, nothing would have stopped me. And here I am with all these fucked up genetics, right? Like the worst of the worst. And I still was like a great football player, great basketball player, great baseball player, to a certain extent, right? You know, obviously I wasn't gonna make it to college, although, yeah, genetically, if things would have been a little different, yeah, in my eyes, if I had the genetics, yeah, I would have been better than a lot of these dudes. But that doesn't matter, right? And that's not really what I'm talking about completely. I am talking about genetics. I'm talking about addictions. I'm talking about how I've been in, my God, what, 12 rehabs? 10 psych wards? I don't know, man. It's amazing. I have people all around me that constantly love me because I'm a great person, because I'm a lovable person, and I love everybody, and my heart is bigger than Texas. Yet I have one of the most evil addictions in the world. And don't get me wrong, they're all horrible. I don't care what your addiction is. We can go down the list if you want. What? Okay? Drinking, smoking, gambling, drugs, right? Opiates. We can do all that. Mine happens to be gambling. Started when I was 10 years old. My dad took me to the track and he wanted to show me the horses. His intentions weren't really to show me the gambling side of it. But the funny thing is that we get there and he taps out in the second race. He's got no money left, yet he gave me a $10 bill before we walked in the joint. And he says, all right, I blew all the money. I promised you a hot dog and a Coke. So you got that $10? I'll give it back to you when I get paid. I go, yeah, Dad, no problem. Let's go get a hot dog and a Coke. On our way, he says, oh, better yet. He goes, why don't we just bet this last race with your $10? You pick it, you do it. And if we win, we win. If we don't, we'll go home, I'll cook you something. So I give him the $10, you know. Fucking horse. The horse goes out like a fucking shotgun. This horse couldn't be touched by the best of them. I picked the winner. I think he picks up $187 on the fucking win or some shit like that. We get hot dogs and Cokes, and now we're having a good time, right? and he's all back in the game. And well, by the last race, he lost it all back. And for me, I'm only 10 years old, so I don't really know the real big concerns and logistics of what his loss was. But I'm sure it was painful because I'm 54 now, and you have no idea what losses I endured with my fucking gambling addiction. But with all that being said, I have a lot to say, and I want to say it, and it's just a lot for you to stay with me on this journey of my ranting about addictions. And anyway, I'm going to just keep talking, and maybe you'll listen, and maybe you won't, and maybe you'll just tell me to go fuck myself. That's cool. But I will tell you this. I met so many incredible people in all these different rehabs. Salvation Army, I lived there for like 6 months. Psych wards, oh my God, almost 8 months. Not all at one time, they kick you out after 30 days and ship you to Salvation Army and ship you here. And they do that because that's the way it is. And then, I had insurance. I went to an amazing rehab, the Sunrise House. I learned a lot there. Anyway, I'm really trying to tell you something, but I'm not really doing too good of a job because it almost feels like the end of the world for me. It almost feels like the end of my life. I hurt a lot of people. I let a lot of people down. When I made that bet with my dad, I was 10 years old. And gambling was in my blood from that moment on. Imagine being 10 years old and just never ever really not thinking about nothing else but gambling. Yep, I had girlfriends. They were short-lived. They all cheated on me. They were all fucking skanks. I'm just telling you, that's the truth. They didn't know what real love was. So I said, I love somebody hard. And I stay loyal. But anyway, I'm getting off track. I start talking about that, I go fucking nuts because, it was a hard thing for me to go through when I did get married. And, she cheated on me and embarrassed me. And she has no remorse for that. But I'm not going to get into that. I have to touch on it for a couple seconds just to let you know, yeah, I've been through a lot. But I got 3 kids, and they're amazing, and they're 50 times better than me, and that's the only thing that matters, right? But we get back to me, man. I lost probably close to $700,000 in my lifetime, and we're talking about credit cards and bankruptcies and 401s that I dumped. And it's amazing to when you have an addiction, you don't listen. Your only concern is that you want to feed this addiction. Now, gambling's a little bit different than drugs, right? And alcohol and all that, but they all play a factor because, every time I lost, I got mad and I would drink and I would do drugs and I would want to die. And imagine being like that for 36 years. I mean, that's a long time, right? And I'm kind of at the end of the game, right? 54, no money, broke, just tapped out again, just lost all my money again, even with the epidemic. Fucked myself up so bad that I can't even fucking pull myself together. And it hurts. It motherfucking hurts. Like, I miss my friends, and all of them I burned for a lot of money. And if they weren't my friends, they would have put a bullet in my fucking head. And some of them I wish they would have, because it would have been easier. But I wake up every day with a good heart and a great soul, and I want to pay everybody back, and I beg and I beg and I beg. Can you just give me the money back so I can pay my friends back? And it doesn't work that way. You see, when there's an addiction on your ass, like this fucking COVID bat that fucking everyone is fucking getting kicked in the balls with, it just doesn't work that way. Addictions are only around for one reason. They were created by the demons that didn't make it to heaven, and they weren't angels. They got lost in the fucking, that little space between heaven and earth and hell. So they're just pissed off demons running around, and there's not enough angels to get them. So they get their fucking hooks in people like me, and they do fucking really bad shit, like make everybody different. You got beautiful people, you got ugly people, you got skinny people, you got fat people, you got blind people, all the shit, right? That shouldn't fucking happen, right? We should all be avatars. We should all be strong. We should all be equal, but we're not. Why the fuck do you think the NBA is the NBA? There's half the guys in the NBA, I don't care about the black and white thing. Like 6'8", 6'9". Now the little guys developed an incredible skill. They can dribble. Okay. How about a baseball? How many fucking people can throw a baseball 100 miles an hour? How many people can hit that fucking thing? You understand what I'm trying to tell you? Everything's about genetics. Everything is about genetics. It is just a genetically luck of the draw, fucked up universe. TV sucks. Everything on TV is fake and fucking disgusting. And we get caught up in the drama, and most of us are wannabes. We don't like the life we're living. We want to be this, we want to be that. But genetically, think about it. If we were all fucking 6'8" and full of muscle and could run like deers, well, what do you think? Well, it's just a crazy thing, right? It's a crazy phenomenon. People that can sing, people that can play a guitar. It is a very interesting universe. But here's the sad part. If you're like me and you're like somewhere around a 6.5, right, on a scale of 1 to 10, and genetically not gifted at all, kind of fucking fucked actually genetically, you fall into that sadness, and you fall into the depths of addiction, because you turn to all of that shit so that you can numb it out. Self-medication is the term. And then when self-medication becomes too frequently and a little more than it should, like you're talking like now self-medicating is like 3 or 4 times a week when it might have been like once a month. It's hard to live your life